All right, well, we are back on stream number 2 now, as our first stream literally died. The service out here, spotty, no video today, and we are just grinding out a broadcast. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Tigers on their own 17, 4:30 remaining. Ball spot at the near hash. Mendoza in the shotgun. VV flanking him. He'll run read option. Keeps it himself on the right side. Should be close to a first down. I think he might have just enough. Needed a couple, and he will get the first down. And just quick stoppage here. Not sure what that was all about, but they'll restart the clock here. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on the 23. It's Mendoza in the shotgun. Check that in the pistol. BB behind him. Ball spotted between the hashes. 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 33. Play action, trying to find Schenbeck. The deep post pattern into double coverage. He catches it anyways. It was knocked down. He grabbed it. What an amazing catch. 5-10 or 10-5 touchdown. And the Tigers score again. Oh my goodness. I was going to say retake the lead, of course, after the blocked extra point. And what a huge catch by Schenbeck. And he just emerged from double coverage with the ball and scampers into the end zone. And for the Tigers, a 77-yard touchdown from Gavin Mendoza to Grayson Schenbeck. And now Dottavio out to kick the extra point. Mendoza the holder. 3:48 remaining. The Tigers about to take an 8-point lead, and they do. As that one's right between the pipes. An 8-point lead for Erie out here in Roosevelt on an audio-only broadcast. And it's we are literally broadcasting with fields that have been freshly cropped behind us. I don't know if it was a cornfield or what, but the fans in the stands jokingly said, well, of course you lost service. We're literally in the middle of a cornfield. But the Tigers lead it 14-6. It was a quick opening drive scored by Mason Vivi. And then that touchdown pass really was a spectacular catch by Grayson Schenbeck. The ball was thrown into double coverage. And I don't know if the Roosevelt defender just barely nicked the ball or not, but Grayson Schenbeck was able to grab it and scoot in 77 yards for Mendoza to Schenbeck. And now the Tigers set to kick off here as they continue right to left here on your blank black screen, if you will. As Dottavio will send this one. End over end football taken at the 12. Walton through the middle trying to make men miss, and he will finally get dumped as he crosses the 35, close to the 40. In fact, they'll mark him down at the 39, and that is where Roosevelt will take over.
We gotta be ready. Hey, Bird, by the way, we got to hit that very well.
Brandon Bird here with you. 3:40 remaining here in the first quarter. Ball spotted at the far hash. Out route, caught. Up the sideline goes Roosevelt. And the Tigers secondary here reeling just a little bit to start this game. Another big pass play into Tiger territory down to the 30-yard line. And Roosevelt now working deep into Tiger territory here on the good first down pickup. Ball spotted at the near hash. They'll mark him down right at the Tiger 30. 1st and 10 here for the Riders. Working left to right. In the shotgun is Saya. Flanking him is Walton. He's got 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Saya will send a man in motion. Takes a snap, fakes the little give to the receiver, takes it himself, and he is buried by a Tiger tackler. I think that was Keaton Dennison that got in there, or maybe it was Grassi. And a short gain there for Roosevelt. They'll only give him about 1. 2:58 remaining here in quarter number 1. Erie on top, 14-6. 2nd and 9 for the Riders. Ball spotted at the near hash. Saya, low shotgun snap. Looks, fires the fade route down the right sideline. Schimbeck in coverage. Skying, catching, touchdown, Riders. Another touchdown pass. And right now the Tigers secondary is giving up some big plays through the air. And a 2-point conversion away is Roosevelt from tying this one. And I think they will keep their offense out there to try the 2-point conversion. The first extra point got blocked. So Erie still leads at 14-12. 2:38 remaining here in the first quarter. And I don't see a special unit. Actually, finally, maybe the kicker here gets subbed on. Nope, they will go for 2. They're going to run a double wide out to the right side. I formation. Saya under center this time. Tigers stunt their line. Handoff up the middle. That's going to be awfully close. I don't think he got it. And he did not. And so the conversion fails and the Tigers keep their lead. It's 14-12. 2:38 remaining here in quarter number 1, and 4 scores already in this first quarter. An exciting opening quarter out here in Johnstown. Is it Johnstown? Is it Milliken? It's kind of right on the border. Not totally sure what to tell you, but here at the home of Roosevelt High School. And I believe they may have had homecoming today. I know there was a parade going on. I see some floats around here. We've been told that fireworks will be going off in the field right behind us. And so it's a festive night for the Riders here at home. And it's a big game for both these teams, as both these teams still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. Tigers sitting in good position in RPI. But really, at this point, you want to win your league. You want to host that playoff game. And we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out, as the Tigers needing to stack some wins together as they hope to build off last week's big win over Niwot. So 2:38 remaining here in the first quarter. Roosevelt will kick off here from their 40. Vivi back to receive along with Kana. Roosevelt always aligns tight like they might onside it. And then they clap the hands and spread out wide, and that's what they'll do here. This one sent kind of a low worm-burning kick taken by the up man. I believe it's Van Landingham. He'll sneak through a hole. Van Landingham into the open field across the 40, and he gets tripped up finally as he gets out to the 44-yard line. And so the Tigers will have pretty good field position. And they'll start 1st and 10. From the 43. Mendoza will lead the troops out. And they're all white unis here tonight. The road whites. Mendoza in the shotgun. Ball spotted at the near hash, 1st and 10. Hand off to Kana on the jet sweep and just tried to turn the corner. Ran into the arms of the defender and was yanked down. Dragged the defender for a couple yards. Will pick up about 5 on 1st down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5. 2:12 remaining. First quarter. Tigers have scored on both of their drives. In fact, both teams scoring on both their drives. It's been an explosive first quarter of play, and we still have 2 minutes left. Mendoza in the shotgun, checked at the pistol. Now Vivi will kind of motion up to his side. They'll send Khan in motion again. This time they'll hand it to Vivi. No one is there on the near side. Vivi has the corner. He's across the 40, breaks a tackle across the 30, down the sideline, and corralled out of bounds as he gets to the 20-yard line. And a 1st down for Erie on a big run. A pickup there for the Tigers of about 27. As Mason Vivi took the handoff, the linebackers followed the action with Kana, and Vivi just took it to the left, and no one was there to stop him. 1:38 remaining here in quarter number 1. And we might see a 5th score in the quarter. Now Mendoza will check in with the sideline. Vivi also peering in. Mendoza will step up toward the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap, hands off Vivi, right side, and Vivi just plows his way forward as the black jerseys closed in around him. Good initial burst by the line, and they kind of pushed the Roosevelt defense back a couple yards. He'll end up picking up about 2, and that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Ball spotted between the hashes. 1:16 remaining. Tigers on top, 14-12. Ball at the Roosevelt 18. Tigers driving. Mendoza in the pistol. He's got 2 wide, 1 to each side, a couple of H-backs, and a hard count. And Vera saying it's against the defense. I looked like the referee pointed towards the offense. It was the defense that initially jumped, and they'll say it is a false start. I didn't see a Tiger move, and I saw a rider jump across the line, but they'll say he was drawn offside. So 53 seconds left. Now 2nd and 13 here for the Tigers. This time Gavin will come out in the pistol. He's got a tight end, 2 H-backs, and Vivi behind him, 1 wide out to the near side. That's Havard. Vivi, hard count. Handoff to Vivi, and he is going nowhere as that one was swallowed up pretty good that time by the Riders. It was Jace Molinoff on the tackle, the defensive tackle inside. 16 seconds left. Not sure if we're going to see another play here in this quarter. Tigers checking in with the sideline. They've only got 6 seconds left, and that will do it here in the first quarter. Explosive first quarter. Both teams scoring on all their possessions. It's 14-12. Tigers lead it as we roll into quarter number 2. Brandon Bird here with you. We are broadcasting live on the Erie Tiger Network from a cell phone, standing in the stands, getting funny looks from some parents saying, "What the heck are you doing?" But we're out here and we're getting this live so that if you are not able to make it, you can at least listen in to what is going on as the Tigers lead it after 1 quarter. By the way, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can like the Erie Tiger Media page on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Erie Tiger Media, or check out our Instagram, Erie Tiger Media. So they'll switch ends of the field. Tigers will now be going left to right on your blank screen. Keep wanting to say radio dial, but not technically radio, as it's just an audio-only YouTube broadcast. And a unusual one at that, to say the least. Probably one of the more unusual broadcasts we've ever done on the Erie Tiger Network. And we've had to pull off some miracles, and we had an unusual one at state softball today. By the way, Tigers, don't forget to buy your yearbooks before they go up in price. See a few yearbook kids, and that reminded me. So here we go for the Tigers. 3rd and 13 from the Roosevelt 23. Ball spotted at the far hash. They'll come out with Havard split way wide out to the near side. A man split out up top, and Mendoza in the shotgun. 2 H-backs. Play action. They'll run the curl route to the far side. It was Bradford that was split out, and they'll say it was knocked down as he tried to haul it in. And so that'll bring up 4th and 13. The Tigers just wanted to bite off a chunk of that so they could make it 4th and manageable. Instead, they'll have 4th and 13.
4th down, Tigers.
So 4th and 13 here for Erie, and they're really taking their time. We might see a timeout called here, and we will. So Coach Cooper steps over to the linesman, takes a timeout, and that'll bring up a decision here. Do you go for the long conversion? Do you trot out the field goal? The ball spotted at the 23. It would be about a 40-yard try if they wanted to try that. And as we've learned in high school, if you kick it in the end zone, it's at least a touchback. But that would only be a 3-yard difference. So I think in my mind, if you're not comfortable kicking the field goal, you don't think that you could make it, then you still go for it, even though it's 13 yards to gain. Although the Roosevelt offense has been pretty explosive through the air so far. A crisp night here in Johnstown. As you can tell, it's going to probably get a little bit colder as this evening rolls on. But an explosive first quarter, keeping the fans warm here. 11:56 left to go here in the second. Tigers had called that timeout. They're discussing things over. We will not have a halftime show. We're deciding whether to mute the mic or start a new second half stream. Maybe in the comments you can tell us what you would prefer, whether just to keep this stream going or to fire up a new one for the second half. I actually don't know if the comments are available right now. We are literally broadcasting live from a mobile phone. Here we go, 4th and 13. Ball spotted between the hashes. Mendoza catches the snap, rolls to his right, looking, had a man, instead overshoots his intended target. He had a man, I think that was Van Landingham, curled up. He was going for Havard in the end zone and just kind of overshot him there in a turnover on downs for the Tigers. And so Roosevelt will take over from their own 23. So here we go, 11:50 remaining, 14-12. No stats for you here either tonight. Like I said, it's just one of our more unique broadcasts. As there's a carry up the middle by Walton for Roosevelt, and he will grind his way on first down for, ends up picking up 80, carried a few defenders quite a few yards. So 2nd and 1 now for Roosevelt. They'll give him 9 yards. At least the scoreboard operator will give him 9. Saya in the shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it off to Walton, right side. Tigers, good job sealing the edge there, and a loss for Walton on 2nd and 1. And I think that's going to back up Roosevelt 2 to 3 yards. The visiting stands here in Johnstown, well, let's just say they're reminiscent of the softball bleachers at Erie High School. In fact, there are some softball bleachers that certainly go deeper. So 3rd and 2 for the Riders. Ball around the 30. Handoff up the middle. Small hole there. It looked like the Tigers got an initial push, but a little second effort play, and leaning forward for the first down is the Roosevelt running back. 10:31 remaining. Tigers lead it 14-12 here in Johnstown. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Riders. Up near the 33-yard line. We're not very high. We are almost field level here, so very difficult to tell exactly where the ball is spotted. Saya this time under center. Tigers will jump offside, and man, that has plagued them all season long. And so an offside call will make it 1st and 5 here for Roosevelt. Tiger defense has struggled a little bit here out of the gate. They just kind of need a big play to get them going. Long discussion here from the officials, and then they will finally call the offside. And now on 1st and 5, a quick snap, and it was a keeper by Saya, and he went nowhere. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. No, they'll actually, I think he ended up lost maybe a yard. So 2nd and 6 here. Scoreboard says it's the Roosevelt 43. 8:55 remaining. Tigers 2-point lead here in the second quarter of play. Saya under center. I formation here for Roosevelt. Saya will keep it. It's the triple option. Pitch out to the near side, and that's going to be about 6-7 yards up near midfield. Tigers pretty disciplined on that play, and Saya got absolutely belted before he pitched it, and he is down on the turf, and he is hurt. So the starting quarterback here for Roosevelt's going to have to at least come out of the game for one play, but he's kind of favoring that left leg. He came around. It was a fake to the fullback. It was literally an old school triple option like you see Air Force run. And as he came around the edge, he took a wallop and then pitched it, and the pitch was good enough to pick up 7 yards, but now he is hurt. So Saya is going to be helped off the field. He is really favoring that left ankle. I don't know if he got rolled up on or what, but now the backup quarterback for Roosevelt will come into the game. And we have to consult our makeshift roster, as they were out of rosters when we came in. So 1st and 10 for Roosevelt. 8:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Ball just a shade over or inside of Roosevelt territory still. And the new quarterback coming in, I believe, is Josh Lawrence.
Go Tigers!
So, no, I beg your pardon. It is actually David Navarrete. So Navarrete, no. So third time's a charm. Brig Hartson, a much better quarterback name, Brig Hartson. And a quick whistle, and I'm not sure who they're calling this penalty on. And it is an encroachment again for Erie. So once again, it's another 1st and 5. And the Erie D-line just has struggled staying disciplined on snap counts this season. So now, well in front of the sticks is Roosevelt. First and 5, Roosevelt, ball spotted at the near hash. 7:57 remaining, Tigers 2-point lead from the 46. Play action, throw out into the flat. Walton has it. He's wide open up the sideline. And a good play design from the Roosevelt offense coordinator. He's finally yanked down at the 28-yard line, a pickup there of close to 15 yards. But a great play. You have a new quarterback into the game. Hey, let's run a little play action boot, get him on the edge, have an easy short throw, and that's exactly what the coordinator dialed up. And a smart call there by Lane Wessinger, the head coach. They actually don't list an offensive coordinator, so one can only assume that the head coach, Wessinger, is the one that calls the plays. 1st and 10 now from the Erie 27. Erie has not been able to stop Roosevelt so far in this one. Now Hartson under center. He'll give it to the fullback, and Tigers got an initial stop and just kind of grinding the legs and pushing forward for about 3 yards was Walton. Cooper Walton, a sophomore. He's probably been the most explosive player here tonight. 7:16, the ball spotted near the far hash, just a titch inside the 25-yard line. 2nd and 7. The backup quarterback, Hartson, will hand it off to the deep man, and Tigers explode through the line of scrimmage and stack up the running back. It was John Pastore that got in there. I think Ian Vera was in there. I think Dylan Hall was in there. just a slew of Tigers shooting into the backfield to make that play. So 3rd and 7 here for Roosevelt. Gotta imagine this is 4 down territory though for them. 6:30 remaining here in the first half. Ball spotted at the Tiger 25. It's exactly where the nose of the football is. Now Hartson will come out under center again. I formation behind him. 2 wide out, split to the near side. Tight end, also to the near side. They'll hand off to the fullback. He fumbled the ball. It's on the turf. I think a Rider lineman popped on it. It was not a clean exchange, and it will be Roosevelt football. I mean, it was on the turf right away. And so that'll bring up a 4th and 5. Yeah. Or it depends on the time. So 4th and 5 here for the Riders. As we see Mr. Carpenter, who has also come from state softball, roaming the sidelines now. And a timeout coming here for the Rough Riders. So 5:31 left here in the first half, and Roosevelt faced with their first 4th down of the game. The game opened, it was a kickoff to Erie. They took the opening drive right down Roosevelt's throat via the run, and Mason Vevey scored from about 18 yards out. Then they kicked off. It was 3rd and long for the Riders, and a long pass play scored. A pass play was, I believe, of about 60 yards or 59 yards for the Riders on what was 3rd and 9. Erie got the ball back, and they scored on a pass play. It was a post pass from Mendoza to Schenbeck, and Schenbeck just kind of grabbed it between 2 defenders. They were surprised he caught it. He shook them free and scampered into the end zone. It was a 77-yard score. And then it was Roosevelt that came right back, and they scored. But a missed extra point, a missed 2-point conversion, and Erie still leads it by 2 points, 14-12, with 5:31 remaining. And Roosevelt has called a timeout. They wanted to talk this one over. And so it will still be Hartson, the quarterback. The starter, Saya, got injured. Erie fans into it. It's a Wildcat reverse. It's a reverse pass, a diving attempt. No, not caught by Hartson, and a turnover on down for the Riders, and the Erie defense does their job for the first time tonight. So both defenses stand up and bow their neck and get a stop on 4th down in their own territory, and Erie will take over for their 4th possession with 5:25 remaining here in this first half. Brandon Bird here with you, Erie Tiger Network, as we are broadcasting live from the Erie visiting stands, as students have slowly trickled in here to create a decently sized students visiting section.
Here we go, Tigers!
And Erie will come out here with Mendoza and Vevey. Arlington, the H-back. There's 2 wide out split. Ball spotted close to the near hash. The 23 is where Erie will start this drive. Mendoza, low snap. Gets it off to Vevey. Trying to bend the edge on the left side. Stops, leans forward, and just drives his feet. He'll pick up about 2 on the play, close to the 25. And that'll bring up 2nd and a long 8 here for the Tigers. And Tigers taking their time here. They could milk a little bit of this clock. So Mendoza gets the play. Now he'll actually recheck the sideline, and I think we're going to see another timeout here from Erie, and we do. So timeout Erie with 4:46 remaining here in the first half of play. They want to discuss this one over. A 2nd and a long 8 coming, so the Tigers will trot in toward the sideline. Well, it's been an exciting day on the Erie Tiger Network. 2 softball games. The Tigers will be going to the state semifinals again tomorrow as they take on Holy Family. They came down from 6 runs in the 6th inning against Pueblo South to come back and win it. And then we came up here and literally got on air in our part 1 stream as Roosevelt was kicking the ball and found a place in the stands. And here we are, broadcasting an unusual broadcast, but we're having fun doing it. And a huge thanks to all the students of the Erie Tiger Network that helped make today's softball broadcast happen and then cut me free to come up and broadcast football. And since we knew it was audio only, I decided to be cut loose here. So here we go. 2nd and 8 for the Tigers out of the timeout. They'll come out with 1 wide receiver, a couple H-backs, and a tight end. They'll hand it off. No, keeper for Mendoza. And Mendoza already more rushes today than he had all of last week here with 4:37 left in this first half. And it picks up a couple, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for the Tigers. Big conversion needed for the Tigers as Roosevelt's offense has been rolling. And both defenses trying to figure out this offense, and they started to pick it up here defensively. I thought there was going to be 100 points scored. No score so far in the second quarter. All the scoring in the first. 4:08 remaining. 3rd and 6. Ball at the far hash. VV will motion out. Gavin throws the post to the tight end, Bradford, and he gets pelted to the turf across the 50, just shy of the Roosevelt 45. In fact, that's actually where they will mark him down. And so a good pickup there on 3rd and 6 on the post play to Josh Bradford. And they are in Roosevelt territory again. 1st and 10, 3:58 remaining as they roll the clock. Now Schenbeck out, split wide to the near side. Arlington and Vera double fullbacks or H-backs. Bradford also in there. Mendoza takes a snap, hands off to Vivi from the pistol. Right side, goes over the right guard, gets turned around and grinds his way backward for a pickup there of about 5 on 1st down. Vivi's had himself a pretty healthy first half. 3:27 and counting here in half number 1. Schenbeck will switch sides. Now the far side, ball right between the hashes at the Roosevelt 44. Mendoza in the pistol. Arlington will stay into the game. Tigers a little bit confused on their sub packages. Clock, still a little bit of time. Now Mendoza, hard count, gets a snap, play action, boots to his right, being pressured, throws on the run, and caught by Vera on a little drag route underneath. The ball popped out. They'll say he caught it, was tackled, no fumble, and it'll be a pickup of about 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 4, maybe a long 3 here for the Tigers. The pressure was streaming right into Mendoza's face, and he had to get rid of it quickly. So 3rd and a long 3 here for the Tigers. Schenbeck split out wide to the far side of the field. The ball spotted at the near hash, so plenty of room over on that side. It's Van Landingham here to the near side. Bradford the tight end. 2 H-backs again. This time it's the Wildcat for Vivi. He'll send Van Landingham in motion. He'll keep it himself. Left side has to get through a slew of defenders, but he got to the line of scrimmage, was pushed back, and that'll bring up 4th down with 2:01 remaining here in the first half. So the Tigers are going to have to either go for it here on 4th and about 5 near midfield, but with the clock situation, I think they're going to let this run all the way down. They'll take a timeout, they'll punt this, and Roosevelt will probably get the ball back with not very much time left to go here in half number 1. 14-12, Tigers on top, 1 minute and 30 seconds, and they are milking all the play clock here as they look to the back judge. And honestly, they could take a delay a game if they're going to punt, and they will. No, they will actually call a timeout. So 1:18 is all that's left here in half number 1. Tigers will punt this. We're going to make our way down to the field so we can get a halftime interview here from Coach Cooper. And it's been an interesting first half, all the scoring in the first quarter. And then the Tigers had to turn it over on down deep in Roosevelt territory, and then Roosevelt did it right back to them as they drove the length of the field, and Erie was able to get the stop. So we are going to try and catch Coach Cooper for a halftime interview, because why not? If we're broadcasting live from the phone, we might as well try and get a halftime interview from Coach Cooper right before the end of the half. But the Tigers will punt with about 1:18 remaining. Long timeout here. As we said, a crisp night here in Johnstown. On the grass field, only the second time the Tigers have played on that all season. Actually, they will come out like they're going to go for it, and they will. So Mendoza in the shotgun here. He's got Vivi next to him. He's going to pass. Tigers get it to Schenbeck, breaks a tackle up the sideline across the 30. They got first down yardage, and so they were aggressive there toward the end of the half. They're in win this game mode, and so after you thought the Tigers might punt, they go for it on 4th and 5, and that's why you call the timeout. So good management there by Coach Cooper. So that'll bring up 1st and 10 here from the 30. Mendoza in the shotgun. He's got Vivi next to him. Bradford split out way wide to the right. Mismatch in terms of height with a corner on him. Let's see if they exploit that. Mendoza looks to the left, waits, fires the high arcing pass, a little too much mustard as he was trying to angle it to the back corner of the end zone and just overthrew Schenbeck in that back corner. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for Erie. 1:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Erie leads it by 2. On a 2nd and 10. They can take their time here with the clock stopped. .105 remaining, as we said. Ball spotted near the far hash. Pistol formation. Vivi behind Mendoza. Snap, give to Vivi, breaks a tackle the line of scrimmage, breaks 2-3 tackles, still on his feet, spins through another tackle, across the 25, churns the legs to the 20, and has 11 yards and a first down. Great run by Vivi, had to break about 4 tackles to do it, and the Tigers are cooking here. 55 seconds left as they are in the red zone. 50 seconds and counting. They can still take their time a little bit. No timeouts, though, remaining for Erie. It's Mendoza in the shotgun. Vivi flanks him to his right. 2 wideouts, but one of them is Bradford to the near side. They're looking. The little slant for Bradford goes up, bobbles it, then catches it. A juggling catch inside the 5, trips down to the 3, and a 1st and goal for the Tigers with 31 seconds left. Bradford was open, mistimed to jump a little bit. It popped out of his hands and he reached out his right paw and snared it, and a timeout coming for Roosevelt. 31 seconds left. Erie leads it by 2, 14-12, as they are on the 3-yard line of Roosevelt trying to punch this one in. And this would be a big score before the end of the half. Boy, you could get this one in. You feel real good about yourself going into the locker room. So with 31 seconds left, we will actually keep it here during halftime. We may try and catch our breath a little bit, so you might not hear a whole lot. We'll give you a couple updates. We'll kind of recap what happened in the first half. I might monologue a little bit about softball today. But let's see what the Tigers draw up here in the timeout. Coach Cooper huddling up with Coach K. By the way, a shout out here to Andrew Piper, who is going to be out for the rest of the season. I talked with his position coach, Steve Higgins, before the game, and he said, man, that is so frustrating. He has been through so much, not only in his high school career, but in his life, and he's remained positive. And so we just send our best wishes and thoughts toward Andrew Piper. And now Tigers will run a player on late. Arlington will get set late. Mendoza in the shotgun. Snap, handoff to Vera, left side, big hole. Tigers with a great push, and they will push it into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown with 25 seconds left in the first half, and they manage that drive perfectly. What a drive going into the half. And they lead it 20-12, and an extra point will actually make this 2 scores. And Colby Arlington coming off the field. I can hear him. He's fired up. We are really close to the field. We actually went down because we're trying to get an interview with Coach Cooper. And so 25 seconds left. It is now a 9-point Erie lead, 21-12 the score. Off a beautiful drive that really was made all because of that 4th down conversion. So Erie leads it 21-12, and they'll kick off, and all you got to do now is hold on for 25 more seconds here against Roosevelt. We're down here on the field because we want an interview with Coach Cooper before he heads into the locker room. And Erie Tiger Network first, I think. We tried that in the state championship, but our mics weren't working well enough. So Erie kickoff team will line up to kick this one off. Still going left to right on your blank screen. All you gotta do, hold on here for 25 seconds and you go to the locker room feeling outstanding about yourself. So Datavio will tee this one up. And he will send this one as a squibber. High last big bounce, picked up from Walton and runs forward into a slew of Tiger jerseys. And with 19 seconds left, Roosevelt will have it. And we'll see if they run a play or if they just sit on it. So 1st and 10 for Roosevelt, 19 seconds left. And man, Erie negotiated that, especially with Roosevelt getting the ball back in the second half. That was a masterful drive. We'll ask Coach Cooper about the decision to go for it on 4th down near midfield. And Roosevelt looks like they're going to try and score here. From the shotgun is Hartson. Long count now, checks it with the sideline. He's got trips to the left. From the 35-yard line is where the ball is placed. Hartson takes a snap. He actually will just hand it off to the right, and Walton will get engulfed by Tiger jerseys. And that will do it here in half number 1 as the time will run out. And the Tigers will take a 9-point lead here into the locker room. And a good first half for the Tigers. As you can hear the Tiger fans clapping their hands, they're excited. As we're gonna try and get a halftime interview from Coach Cooper. And no locker room that they're running into. I don't know if there is a visitor's locker room or what the deal is, but Coach Cooper meeting with the team right at midfield. The Roosevelt band ready to come onto the field. But a 21-12 lead for Erie at halftime. And we are joined here by Coach Chad Cooper. And Coach, you decided to go for it at 4th down near midfield. What went into that decision?
Like any good decision, a lot of people telling me that we should go for it. So it was a team decision to do it. We just thought that was we needed to get points going in, turn the momentum, and it was a great play by Gavin throwing the ball and a great catch.
Obviously some explosive offense in the first quarter. Second quarter, things kind of adjusted down. What did you guys do defensively to kind of adjust to Roosevelt's scheme there in the first half?
I mean, it's more just guys adjusting and covering their guys up better, doing their assignments better. It really wasn't as much scheme. I would say it was more just, hey, this is your job. You need to do it just a little better. And that's what the second half is going to be, just execution. So.
All right, thanks for joining us, Coach. Good luck in the second half. That was Coach Chad Cooper, the head coach of the Erie Tigers. You heard it there. They decided to go for it on 4th down, and they made it work. And that's kind of the storyline here in this first half. So 21-12, Tigers lead it here at halftime. And what a wild day it has been, Tiger fans, and we will continue to have coverage tomorrow for state softball on the Erie Tiger Network as Erie able to come back. They were down 6 entering the top of the 6th inning. They scored 2, then they scored 5 in the top of the 7th. Pueblo South would tie it up, and then Erie would explode for 4 more in the 8th, and they would win it 18-14 in a real barn burner. It was Matty Vaughn's home run, though, that was probably the exclamation point of the afternoon for the Tigers. And then the Tigers, they just controlled Evelyn throughout the day, and so they will roll into tomorrow's matchup against Holy Family. And, well, it's been an exciting day. And now we're here at this football game, and it is halftime. And they're going to do some halftime festivities. I am going to catch my breath here for just a second, as I have yet to do so. And so hang with us. You won't hear much audio for a moment, and then we'll be back on in just a couple minutes to kind of recap what happened there in that first half. And welcome back into the Erie Tiger Network. Halftime here. Erie leads at 21-12 as it is homecoming here in Johnstown. They have the parade floats. They're introducing homecoming. There'll be band, so it could be an extra long homecoming. So we'll kind of roam the sidelines here, see if we can track down an interview or two. And actually, we are rolling up right now on Coach Havard, and his cross-country team's going to drive down to Colorado Springs tomorrow, and we're here live on the Erie Tiger Network with Coach Havard. And Coach, first of all, congrats about regionals. You guys heading to state, both the boys and the girls, and what does this mean to the cross-country program?
It means the world. It's the second year in a row that we qualified both teams. I think it's the foundation that we need to build a fantastic program here, and I'm just so elated that we made it and that we're going to go there and hopefully get a top 10 finish.
For outsiders, you know, when you think about building programs and building success, it's a lot about consistency. But when you look at cross country, what maybe makes that job different than even your track and field job?
It's a little bit harder mentally, I would say. It takes a lot to go out there and fight through 3.1 miles of running. It's a lot of practice, a lot of hard work that goes into it. People think it's just going out and running, but you have to condition your body to be able to do that. It's a different world from track. I'll tell you that track is it's not easy, but you know it's around the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4 laps or shorter. For cross country, you got to have a very, very strong mental mindset or positive mindset to make it through those 3 miles without wanting to give up. And that's where we as coaches come in and make sure we get them around the course, and we're there for them at the end to pick them back up and just keep it going, you know.
Awesome. Obviously, you're up here in Johnstown tonight watching your son play football. What do you get more nervous for? Do you get more nervous watching your runners as you're a coach and you hashed out with them all season, or do you get more nervous watching your son play football?
The first football game, that was probably the most nervous I had been in a while. But after that, he told me he loved it, and from then I'm just here excited to watch him play. When it comes to the big meets, I won't sleep tonight. I'll tell you that. For regionals, I was super nervous. You can ask the kids. I was walking back and forth, pacing, waiting for the scores to come out. And it'll be the same thing tomorrow. I mean, like I said, I probably won't sleep much tonight. It's hard. It's not hard. It's more like excited nerves, you know, excitement. But definitely for my team and worrying about how they're going to do and wanting them to do good, that's probably what I get the most nervous about.
Awesome. Well, thanks for letting us sneak up on you and interview you here at halftime of this game. Best of luck to you tomorrow.
No problem. Thank you, Brandon.
Once again, that was Coach Brandon Havard of the cross-country team. The cross-country team's regional champs last week, and they're heading down to Colorado Springs for state tomorrow. We will have state softball tomorrow. As let's go ahead and kind of recap this first half of play. Erie got the opening kickoff and engineered a really great long drive on the ground, mostly runs via Vivi and Mendoza, and it was Mason Vivi that capped off the first score from an 18-yard run. And then they kicked it off to Roosevelt, and Roosevelt had 3rd and 9 on their own 41, and they threw a bomb down the left sideline that was taken into the end zone for a 59-yard touchdown. That's when Erie got the ball back. Erie drove down pretty quickly, but it was one big play of 77 yards. I said drove down, but really it was one big play. Pass from Mendoza to Schenbeck. Between two defenders, probably one of the catches of the year. He was able to squeeze it, burst into the open field, and ran it in for the 77-yard touchdown. Erie kicked it right back off to Roosevelt, who on their previous drive had missed an extra point. They were able to go down and score on another pass play, this time down the right side, and they would go for 2, but they would not make it. The Tigers would stop the run up the middle short. Then, so it was 14-12. Erie drove it all the way down deep into Roosevelt territory. They got stopped on a 4th and 13. That's when Roosevelt got the ball back on their own 23. They took a long drive all the way down to also the Erie 23. And they got stopped on a 4th and 5. And on that drive, the Roosevelt quarterback, Saya, got knocked out of the game. And instead, it was the backup Hartson that came in. and they just weren't able to convert on the 4th and 5. They turned it over with about 5 minutes left in the first half. That is when Erie took over the ball. A nice run by Vivi, got it up near midfield, but it was 4th and pretty long, 4th and 13, and the Tigers took a timeout. They talked, or excuse me, 4th and 6. They took a timeout. They talked it over. Coach Cooper decides to go for it. They throw the pass, complete it, and then they were in business. They milked the clock really well, drove it all the way down. It was a nice juggling catch by Bradford that would set up the touchdown, and Ian Vera ran it in from about 3 yards out to score with 36 seconds left, and that is the score as we enter the locker room at halftime. 21-12, Erie leads it. This is the Miners halftime show, brought to you by Miners. For the best place to post game, check out Miners on Briggs. Well, an audio-only broadcast tonight. It's a little bit crazy. Thank you for joining us. Hey, one thing we would love is we would love your support here on the Erie Tiger Network. It is $300 a game to CHSAA to broadcast state softball. We are expecting, hopefully, a football playoff game. That's $500 a game. If you could support us on Patreon for as little as $10 a month, you don't even realize how far that goes over the course of the year. We could get 5-10 of those. We will be set forever in terms of playoffs and streaming needs with our network. It is patreon.com/Erie Tiger Network. You could even sponsor us for as little as $1 a month. So please check that out. We'd really appreciate it. That would help us out. We also have a new feature enabled. I don't actually know if it's enabled on this stream or not, called Super Chat, where you can donate to see your comments highlighted, and they'll stay up there for a while, and you can give your support to the Erie Tigers via the Super Chat and support the Erie Tiger Network as well. Well, we're still roaming the sidelines here as the band is about to play for Roosevelt in homecoming as they've introduced the players. By the way, Saya is up for homecoming king, and he is out on crutches, so you gotta think he is done as he is the left ankle wrapped with ice, and I believe he is done for the day. So that will certainly impact the second half as Roosevelt will have to operate with their backup quarterback. We're going to take another mic muted timeout. When we come back, we'll have the second half. We'll come back after not too long. We'll try and capture an interview or two, but we also need to get this charged. By the way, the softball game tomorrow at Holy Family, 10 a.m., and that is when we will be on the air. We'll take a quick muted break here on the ETN. And welcome back here into halftime on the Erie Tiger Network. You've been listening live to the Erie Tiger football game here live from Johnstown. And Milliken, Brandon Bird here with you as we continue to broadcast here. The Erie football team just coming back out onto the field. The Roosevelt band performing. It is Roosevelt homecoming here in Johnstown, Milliken. We had some fireworks going off. We have some floats going around the track. It was quite the festivities here in Johnstown. But we are about 4 minutes or so from the start of half number 2 as the Tigers have come back out onto the field on a crisp night, but not too cold. We were kind of expecting it to be a little colder. It might get colder as the game goes on. We'll see, but the Tiger play has warmed our hearts. And Coach Higgins waving to us. As we mentioned earlier, a shout out to Andrew Piper, who had knee surgery earlier this week. They went in, cleaned up his meniscus. He's retorn his ACL. He is out for the year. Second straight year that has happened. And Coach Higgins made a point to call me before the game and say, look, you have got to give a shout out to Andrew Piper. This young man has been through so much and continues to remain positive, and just heartbreaking what Andrew has had to go through. And so we certainly wish him the best in his recovery, as maybe he can come back strong for his senior season next year. But real quick, we're going to just bring Mr. Carpenter onto the broadcast for just a moment. As Mr. Carpenter, you were obviously there today at state softball, and inning they were down by 6, but you saw a lot of resolve. I don't know softball players up here, they're taking the night off, getting ready for their game tomorrow, but just from a former coach's point of view, the athletic director's point of view, what made today so special?
I think, first of all, just being there is special. Only 16 teams get in. A lot of teams are checking in equipment and stuff. So being there is awesome. Us being a lower seed, the whole week, it didn't really feel like we were the lower seed. Our girls are extremely competent, but really gritty, resilient girls. We did this at regionals. We kind of had the same thing. We got up big, we gave up big inning, and then we found a way to win. Tomorrow anything could happen. I hope our softball girls are at home resting. Megan Loveland, I hope her arm is in an ice wrap, and I hope that we're ready to roll tomorrow.
Yeah, that was certainly fun. I know before the day started there was the Walk of Champions, which is a great tradition that was started, and you kind of addressed the teams and you said, how would you play at a rec center outside of a venue where the environment kind of changes the game? And I think we kind of saw some resilience and fun in the Tigers team, and that really propelled them in that second game. But you addressed more than just the softball team. You addressed the cross-country team and some other teams that were in there, the soccer team as well. This Erie athletic department as a whole really rolling through this fall season. Volleyball with a win last night over Holy Family for the first time and maybe ever. How do you kind of try and create a culture where you let things loose and just go out and perform your best from sport to sport?
Yeah, it's not one person, it's a team, and we have the best team in America with all of our coaches. We have the best kids in America. I really mean that. I can't think of a better group of kids than our athletes. They want to be pushed, and we have a group of coaches that push them. The rest takes care of itself. The one thing I always think about with our kids, and I told the teams this, is don't let the environment affect the outcome. Tonight's a great example. It's homecoming at Roosevelt. It's a tough place to play. Our kids are having a ton of fun though, and they're not letting this environment affect their outcome. So far, we still got some time left, but the culture piece, culture is something that you build every day. It's something that you emphasize. And but it takes a village. We have so many great people that are willing to kind of push the bar and and to get off the bus if it's kind of stalled and help push it. So that's why we've been able to be pretty successful.
Awesome. Well, thanks for letting me sneak up on you, a little sneak attack interview.
Have you tried the concession stand here yet?
I have a bottle of water. I stopped at 7-Eleven on the way and had a Cliff
How
Bar.
are you feeling? Let me interview you. Let me switch the script. So Mr. Bird was at state softball. He just has a new baby. So Mr. Bird, how is your first month and a half of being a father?
You know, it's different than I thought. I at times have gotten more sleep than I thought I would, and then it's been more exhausting than I thought it would be at the same time. But it's been fun.
How many nights out have you and Janae had? Mrs. Bird.
We've had a couple that we've kind of had to ourselves. We're looking forward to tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will really be like our first time out. So our parents are going to come over and watch the baby. That should be good.
Good. And you got plans tomorrow night?
Yeah.
What are your plans? Let's tell the Erie Tiger Network world of what your plans are.
We have a friend who has an annual birthday tiki party that we're going to. So that's what we're doing.
That is amazing. Well, Justin Carpenter signing off from Erie Tiger Network. Brandon, I really appreciate you, man. He is the best in the business. We are fortunate to have you.
Oh, thank you, Justin. All right, so we are about ready to start half number 2 here. There's only another minute left on the clock. Thanks for bearing with us. Just kind of burning time at halftime with no visual of halftime. Extra boring if we just mute the mic the entire night. So 43 seconds left to the start of the second half. We kind of already mentioned what a great drive by Erie to end that first half, and we'll see if that play from Erie kind of carries over here into half number 2, as they will have to kick the ball off to Roosevelt. And so here on your radio dial, or your blank screen rather, I believe Erie will be going right to left in this quarter. And the temperature has probably dropped about 10 to 15 degrees or so in the last 20 minutes. It's starting to get a little bit chilly out here. And I'll tell you what, the visiting section, it just feels like you're out here in the boonies, away from all the life. A massive home section, and Roosevelt did a good job. And actually, Erie is receiving the ball. And I don't know what happened. Oh, you know what? I beg your pardon. I came in and Erie was kicking off. And I was walking to my seat. I apologize. I totally forgot. Erie actually got a 3-and-out to start the game and forced a punt. So they will receive the ball. So not only do they score there at the end of the first half, but they get the ball back to start the second. And on homecoming, don't be surprised if you see Roosevelt kick the onside kick. They will kind of squib this one. It's picked up by... Is that Johns with it? I'm not quite sure who picked up that one for the Tigers, but a good return. And it's actually Caleb Rasmussen. Like I said, we are almost field level, so at times it's hard to see where the ball is located, and also not only where it's located, but which numbers the players are wearing. We are up close and personal, but we were able to get the interview with Mr. Carpenter there and Coach Cooper before halftime. But Erie will come out. 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 40. Mendoza hands off. Vivi right side, stutters through the hole, then goes low and submarines his way close to the 45. He'll be stopped at the 44. A pickup there of about 3.5 yards or so on first down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Tigers with the ball between the hashes here. 11:26 remaining. 21-12 lead. Mendoza in the pistol. He's got VV behind him. Vera and Arlington still the fullbacks here for the Tigers in the heavy package. Handoff, VV stutters in the hole, breaks a tackle, and had to just fight his way to get back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost about a half a yard, and that'll bring up about a 3rd and 7 here for the Tigers. So both defenses trying to adjust here, as that was an explosive first quarter of play. Things slowed down a little in the second quarter. Both teams still drove it pretty good, though. So we haven't seen the defense outside of that very first drive from Roosevelt for either side make a huge stand early in a drive. Now Mendoza in the shotgun. Schembeck wide to the near side. Up top is Bradford, and Mendoza airmailed it, and then he took a pop right after he released it. And he's a little slow to get up. And so the Tigers will punt here on 4th and 6. And so Roosevelt, they do their job. They get a 3 and out. And the Tigers will punt. And it will be Brandon Murphy back to punt for the Tigers. Tigers taking their time here. 10:31 remaining here in the third quarter.
Come on.
And it is blocked. They rushed the punter, and Roosevelt trying to pick it up, and they weren't able to pick it up, but they do fall on it. Either way, they will have excellent field position, as there was about 3 black jerseys deep into the Tiger punt backfield, and they have phenomenal field position at a 33-yard line. So the Erie defense is going to have to come out and do something special. So 1st and 10 here for Roosevelt. The backup quarterback, Brig Hartson, into the game in the shotgun. 2 wideouts to either side. Ball spotted at the near hash. Hartson, 3-step drop, fires to the left, fade route, or it's actually the corner from the slot. Juggling catch made, bobbling it into the end zone goes Keaton Kaiser, and Keaton Kaiser, another long touchdown catch. And a touchdown for the Riders on the first play. So they get a 3 and out, a block punt, and a touchdown on the first play. And that's not how you draw it up in the locker room if you're Coach Cooper. And I imagine the Erie coaching staff a little hot under the collar after this start. And you heard Mr. Carpenter say, don't let the environment affect your play. It's homecoming. And man, what a statement for Roosevelt here in the first half. They get a 3 and out and a touchdown, all in 1 minute and 44 seconds to start half number 2. They will go out to kick the extra point. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good. And so it is a 3-point lead here, or 2-point lead, I beg your pardon, here for Erie, 21-19. And man, a 33-yard touchdown pass in the blink of an eye. Roosevelt right back into this. So, yeah, when we saw Erie coming out to receive the ball, it was kind of an oh my gosh moment. They could really crack open this game, and suddenly we've got a fight on our hands, as we always do here in Roosevelt. If you remember a couple years ago, big league game, Noah Roper scored the go-ahead touchdown that was called back due to a holding penalty, and the Tigers were unable to punch it in, and they fell to Roosevelt. And so every time we've been out here, it has been a tough, grinded-out game in a kind of blue-collar, grinded-out community. Roosevelt always physical, and so that's what you can expect every time you come onto this grassy field. And now the Tigers have a real fight on their hands. So Vivi and Kana back to receive the kick here for the Tigers, but we've seen the man return it twice.
Go Tigers!
Both Van Landingham and Rasmussen have had a kick return tonight. This one is sent deep. Kana tacking over. He'll catch it up the sideline. Kana trying to find some blockers and will kind of sputter. And the play is behind the Tiger sideline, so I have no idea what happened over there, but I think it was shoved out of bounds as he crossed the 20. And actually picked up some decent yardage there, spotting the ball near the 27-ish. We can't see. The players are literally blocking our view. As we said before, we're kind of at ground level. I hope I don't sound like a psychopath when I'm talking. Only one of me here. I keep saying us, but just me here tonight on the Erie Tiger Network. But 1st and 10, ball at the 27. That is where the Tigers will start this drive. Mendoza starts in the pistol. Still a tight formation here for Erie. They're going to be physical right back. Handoff Vivi, and another shooting play into the backfield for Roosevelt. And they have come out and made a statement here to start this half. And it was Jace Molinar on the tackle for Roosevelt. He's the one that shot in the backfield and made the stop, and a loss of 2, maybe 3 on first down on just a simple run. All right, see if the Tigers can kind of settle down here. Mendoza, play action, throws the curl. Schenbeck catches it, tried to shoot up the sideline real quick, but ended up picking up about 8 yards or so, and that'll make it third and a little more manageable. Third and about 5, maybe a long 4 here for the Tigers. Tigers quickly to the line of scrimmage. Ball spotted at the near hash, 9:12 remaining, 21-19, Tigers lead it. Mendoza, hard count. Now we'll check in with the sideline. Behind him is Vivi. He's got 2 wideouts. Bradford way to the far side, and the near side it's Schenbeck. Arlington and Vera, the fullbacks.
Come on, Gav!
Gavin taking his time, claps the hands, takes the snap, hands it off Vivi. Vivi swarmed and dropped for a huge loss, and that time it was Giovanni Lara that shot back there. And right now the Tiger offensive line missing some assignments, and the Tigers are going to have to punt again. Oh boy, not what you expected coming out of the locker room. And so Murphy set to kick this one. I believe it's Brennan Murphy. It might be Jaden George. That's the number on the roster, but George listed as a DB and Murphy the kicker. I think it's Murphy. Snap is good. Murphy trying to get it away quick. That was almost blocked. And it will bounce at midfield and out. And so Murphy took a wallop. They might say that was just barely blocked as Murphy comes gingerly off to the sideline. Remember, we've talked about Andrew Piper tonight. That's really where you miss Piper, as he's had a big punting leg. And we'll miss him for the remainder of the season, punting-wise. So, back out is Roosevelt with Brig Hartson, the quarterback. Trips to the near side. Ball spotted right at the 50. Hartson in the shotgun and a hard count, and guess what? The Tigers jump offside again. That is the 4th time tonight they have been drawn offside, and another 1st and 5 for the Riders. So Hartson with Bauman in the backfield. 3 wide of the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. 1st and 5, 8:01 remaining, Tigers a 2-point lead. Hartson hands it off right side, big hole, and plenty of room. First down yardage and more, inside the 30, down to the 25, and finally spun down was Bauman. And he's gonna be spotted down at the Tiger 21, and they are quickly to the line of scrimmage. Walton's now checked back into the game for the Riders. Hartson checks back in with the sideline. Tigers defense needs to get a spark here. Tigers reeling out of the locker room. It's been all Roosevelt so far. Low snap. Hartson fires the fade and threw it well behind the receiver. Not sure if he was going for back shoulder or what, but a little bit of a miscommunication. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. By the way, they did spot it at the Tiger 23. As we said, a little hard for us to spot the exact yard line. We are spotted right now in what is Roosevelt territory near the 30, so kind of on the opposite side of the field. So 2nd and 10, 7:35 remaining. Hartson in the shotgun, takes a snap, rolls to his right, scans the field, will tuck it, run over the left side, has running room, has a 1st down at yardage and more, fighting toward the 10-yard line, and a good pickup. And at times, Tiger weakness on defense has been the running quarterback on a pass play. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9 for the Riders. 7:21 remaining in the third. 21-19, Erie leads it. First and 10 for the Riders. The ball will be spotted between the hashes. The Riders will come out with trips to the left, single wide out to the right. Hartson in the shotgun with Walton flanking him to his right. Gets the snap, looks left, fires the slant. No, it's the little corner out, diving for the catch. Touchdown for the Riders. An outstanding diving catch over on the far sideline. And I couldn't quite tell who made the catch. I think it might have been Shane Grimes. Hard to tell, literally the opposite side of the field from where I am. And it is a lead for the Riders, the first of the night, 25-21. And they will, with a 4-point lead, what are they going to do here? Are they going to go for 2? That's what it looks like they're going to do right now. And they will come out and they will go for 2. A wildcat formation, though. No, I beg your pardon. It's 3 running backs in the backfield behind Hartson. Handoff left side, and that's going to be close. Looking for the call. No, they did not get it, and the Tigers get a stop. And so it's 21-25, the third missed conversion of the night for Roosevelt. And some Erie Tiger. There is a flag down near the goal line. And I'm not sure who this is on. And the referee facing away from us. So referee's conferencing at the goal line. 6:55 left to go here in this third quarter. Temperature rapidly dropping to a more frigid-like state here. And the Tiger defense is running off the field, so I don't think there's anything to worry about there. Now Roosevelt offense running off the field. And it's a personal foul on Erie. Well, folks, I have talked about this ad nauseum on the broadcast. A personal foul, and Roosevelt's going to kick off, and you know where they're going to kick off from? They're going to kick off from the Erie 45. The Erie 45. I tell you what, if I don't see one of these high school coaches do an onside kick when you kick off from Erie territory, I mean, everyone's kicked it through the back of the end zone. Worst case scenario, the other team has the ball in the 35. Or you kick it through the back of the end zone, you get 15 yards. Why not try the onside? Of course, being part of the Erie Tiger Network and seeing things through orange-colored glasses, we hope the Erie would recover that. But one of these days, a high school coach will do an onside kick after a personal foul. One of these days. And Roosevelt will come out to kick it off. Remember, Erie going right to left, if you can imagine it in your mind's eye. For those of you that listen to football on the radio, you would normally hear on your radio dial. All right, I've said that enough tonight. Just trying to fill time here as we have no broadcast commercials. So I'm just at times talking like an idiot. Why not? Maybe getting a little loopy and tired as well. So the kickoff will be from the Erie side of the field on the 45. Tigers really packing it in here. Roosevelt all clumped in the middle. And now they'll clap the hands. They'll spread out wide. Tigers will loosen up. And it looks like Roosevelt's just going to send it deep. And they are. And I'm just going to sit here and scratch my head and go, what the heck are these high school coaches thinking? I'll continue to say it for the rest of my career until I see a high school coach do an onside kick from the other opponent's side of the field. All right. I'll get off my soapbox here. First and 10 from the 20 for the Tigers. That's where they will start this drive. 6:55 remaining. 50. as Mendoza will lead the troops back out onto the field. See what the Tigers do schematically here. Whatever they came out of the locker room, they have not executed the game plan so far. Mendoza in the pistol, takes the snap, hands off. Vivi stutters in the hole. Now tried to bounce out, had a little gap on the left, but that closed up, and I don't think he gained anything. And right now this Tiger running game is struggling. 2nd and 10. This Roosevelt defense has adjusted to the running game, and really since that first quarter, the Tiger running game hasn't done a whole lot. They've moved the ball through the air. Mendoza again from the shotgun. Takes the snap. He'll throw it, a slant, and playing defense with Schenbeck. He had to knock it down away from the defender as that was thrown out a little bit ahead of him, but the Roosevelt defense kind of saw that coming and jumped the route. Oh boy, now a 3rd and 10 at their own 20. Erie has got to find something. Tigers taking their time here. They want to get the right play call in. They need to come up with something. 6:14 remaining. They trail at 25-21 here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 10 from their own 20. Ball spotted near the near hash. 2 wideouts to the top of the field. Tight end is Bradford to the near side. Clapping the hands. Now they'll send Vera in motion. Vivi flanking Mendoza. Roll to the right. No, it's going to be a little screen pass to the near side. Set up pretty nicely. Bradford has to break a tackle. Does. He's into the open field. He's across the 40. He's down the sideline. 50, 40, 30. One man to beat. Just gets tripped up as he crosses to the 20. And a beautifully designed screen pass. Just what the doctor ordered. Bradford had to make one man miss early on, and he did it. Got first down yardage, and he was off to the races. And Bradford, another big play through the air. So 1st and 10 from the Roosevelt 20 is where they spot him down. Ball spotted at the near hash. One wide receiver in the formation, that's Schenbeck. Double wing, handoff. Vivi, a little bit better of a hole this time, and Vivi kind of ran it into the teeth of the defense and gets stopped after a gain of about 3. 5:39 left here in the 3rd. 2nd and 7 coming for the Tigers. Ball between the hashes. Tigers check in on the sideline. 2nd and 8. Mendoza in the pistol. Double wing again for Erie. Vivi behind Mendoza. Hands off left side. He's got a lead blocker on the forward guard. Mendoza strung it out to the sideline. They will mark him out at about the 13. No. Yep, 13-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3. 5:05 remaining here in the quarter. 25-21, Roosevelt on top. Trying to get back to our roots in radio. You call it a little different than you would on TV. Near hash where the ball spotted. Fans getting loud here for the Tigers. And the sideline trying to say, hey, quiet down here, quiet. Now Vivi in the Wildcat takes the snap. He'll head it off to Vera left side. Vera puts his head down, spins, grinding into the grass. And Vivi using his strength. So Ian Vera with the carry gets it down to the 7 and a first down for the Tigers. So 1st and goal here for Erie. Vivi took the handoff, handed it to Vera, and Vera just lowered the head and turned the left side of the field there into a little bit of a grass mill, just chewing up the turf.
Come on, boys.
Now Vivi in the shotgun, flanking him as Vera. Wildcat again this time. Vivi will just follow Vera on the right side, leads it toward the goal line, getting pushed. He is in for a Tiger touchdown. So the Tigers retake the lead here with 4:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 27-25. and Dominic out to kick the extra point. That huge play by Bradford just turned the tide, and all the momentum was going against Erie, and Erie able to use that play and springboard it into a touchdown. Now Dom lining up the extra point. Gavin the holder. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is low, but it is good, and the Tigers lead it 28-25. And you think about those 3 missed extra points for Roosevelt. That is the difference in this game. Both teams with 4 touchdowns, but the Tigers with a 3-point lead with 4:31 remaining. And oh boy, what a great designed screen pass. Great broken tackle by Bradford up the sideline, a huge pass play, and that's what did the trick here in this drive. And the Tigers were able to convert on a 3rd down with Vera, and they punch it in the end zone. Mason Vivi from about 7 yards out gives the Tigers another lead. So back and forth we go. It's been a fun one here in all our games today, so why wouldn't this one lack a little drama? It's been a day of swings. So temperature is starting to get a little bit chilly here. 28-25, Tigers on top. 4:31 left in the 3rd. As Dominic set to kick this one off, and this time the Roosevelt Rough Riders deep men are standing at the 12. See if Dom can put a boot to one here. It's cold out. Ball just not carried as far off the foot. And this time Dom hits a better one that will back up the returner to the 10. He's across the 20, the 30, into the open field, but there's a flag all the way behind the play. It deep in Roosevelt territory at the 18-yard line. And so Roosevelt's going to come all the way back to their own 9. So a huge penalty there. And so a hold on Roosevelt. That is a big one as they return it out to the 50. And they're going to end up starting their own drive from their own 9. They'll actually spot it at the 10. So in effect, a 40-yard penalty for the Riders. Oh man, that's a huge one. Now the Erie defense will need to come out and adjust. They've been gashed a little bit through the air. See if these DBs can figure some things out here. Hartson, the quarterback here for Roosevelt. And we may have a false start. No, we might have encroachment. The motion, I think, maybe got an Erie Tiger to jump, and it did. So another offside penalty and another 1st and 5 for the Riders. And it's amazing that Coach Cooper has any hair left on his head, as he's got to be pulling it out. Another offside. So 1st and 5 here for the Tigers. Low snap, handoff. It's Walton up the middle, stutters in the hole, has 1st down yardage, out across the 25, still turning the legs. Out across the 30, still fighting for yardage, and finally wrestled down at the 35. Walton was just carrying a couple Tigers for about 10 yards. He was touched near the 25 and gained 10 more yards. Actually spot him down at the 36. So 4:02 remaining, 28-25, Tigers lead it. Under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Hartson with 4 wide. Hands it off to Walton again, and this time Pastore got in there and jumped on his back and stopped Walton. They'll actually give him a pretty good spot, and I am standing right on the 35. They'll spot him at the 37. That's pretty generous. 3:33 remaining in the 3rd. 2nd and we'll call it a short 9, a long 8. Brig Hartson in the shotgun. I think that's Walton next to him. Nope, it's Bauman. Now Hartson will step up, fire down the sideline, and good trail technique that time for the Tigers. That was Dylan Hall on the coverage. They were trying to connect with Keaton Kaiser, who has a couple of those scores, and Hall was with him step for step down the sideline, riding him hip to hip. So 3rd and 9 here for Roosevelt. Big moment for this Tiger defense, as they've had some trouble stopping this Roosevelt team. We already saw Roosevelt, though, convert on a 3rd and long. So from the 37, ball spotted between the hashes. Hartson in the shotgun, drops back to pass, looking, pressure in his face, fires, intercepted! It's Kana! He's going the other way, the 50, 40, up the sideline, and gets wrestled down at the 32, and the pressure caused the overthrow. Kana read it perfectly, stepped in front of that one, picked it off at midfield, and returned it all the way back to the 30-yard line, as that's where they will finally spot him down. And so the Tigers with great field position and the lead with 2:56 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Hartson he threw it into double coverage, but he floated it a little bit, but having a high point that one was Kana as he jumped up from his safety spot. And it was a nice interception. And the first turnover of the night. Tigers taking their time here to send their offense on the field. And actually, the back judge already calling it down, and a timeout coming here for Erie. So they're going to spend a timeout, their first of the half, as they just weren't quite sure what they wanted to do with the offense. Well, just going to take a moment here to check the old battery. And we're rolling pretty good here. So, should be good to go for the rest of this game as long as we don't drop network. We did drop it one time this game. That's why this says part 2. In case you're wondering on the stream. Thanks for tuning in, though. And an audio-only broadcast. First one in a while. Just weren't able to get the crew up in time. They were at state softball. Heck, I rolled in literally at 6:59. I was on the track walking around the field as the kickoff was happening. So we got in by the skin of our teeth. All right, so Mendoza in the pistol, VV behind him, 2 wideouts to the near side. Mendoza runs play action, looks, steps up, gets hit, and will get engulfed for a loss of about 7 on the play. Just held on to the ball a little too long. Only two men in the route. He was trying to read high to low. It was Van Landingham that was running the post, and Schenbeck was running the underneath route. And by the time Mendoza decided that neither were a good option, the black shirts were in there to get a sack. So now 2nd and 17 here for the Tigers. Just got to bite off some chunks if you're Erie. Mendoza in the pistol. Claps the hands, sends Vera in motion across the formation. Ball spotted between the hashes. Roll out for Mendoza, who's going to fire the deep cover. Just in and out of the hands of Schenbeck. He had to adjust, come back, and kind of left his feet and just slipped through his fingers. And that would have been good enough for a first down. Good throw on the run, and Mendoza running to his left. He's the right-handed quarterback. That's a tough throw, but he put it right on the money. And Schenbeck had to break hard toward the sideline, left his feet, and just couldn't quite hold on to it. 2:02 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 28-25, Erie leads, 3rd and 17. Ball spotted between the hashes, 3 wide now for the Tigers. It's Vivi in the backfield with Mendoza. The fullback this time is Vera. They'll send Van Landingham in motion. He'll get the pitch. Now it's a reverse to Schenbeck. He'll throw the reverse pass. It's caught by Haver. Breaks the tackle. Haver will roll into the end zone. The double reverse pass. And Erie scores on a 3rd and 17 from the 37. And they take a 2-score lead, and I'm cramping up here in the stands. Wow. So the double reverse pass from Schenbeck to Havert, and Erie scores, and it was a good catch by Havert on the run, made one man miss, and he burned it into the end zone. And now Dominic out to kick the extra point. The snap is good, the kick is, and it is good. 35-25, Tigers on top by 10, 1:51 remaining here in this third quarter. Well, it's been a seesaw battle in some regards, but Erie right now, in terms of the momentum, has the upper hand.
Right, Bird, God damn it. Did you hear what she said? That all the time would be so cool to see something back on Erie at the end. Can't.
I'll take the stone and
So 1:51 remaining. Some of the fans were giving us a hard time, saying that play was cool, but we can't rewatch it on the ETN. And I said, we will try our best to get the film from the coaches, if they have a sideline film this week, and then overlay the audio, so it'll be kind of a re-stream of the football game. That was a play worth watching again for sure. So kickoff here for Erie. High kickoff this time. Taken by, it was, I believe, Giovanni Lara here for the Riders. And he returns it out close to the Erie 30. So 1st and 10 for the Riders, 1:46 remaining here in the third quarter. And they'll spot it right at the 30. So now Hartson will come out here in the shotgun. Handoff, right side. And I believe that's Walton just trying to fight his way forward. No, that's actually Bauman. He'll get about 3 yards through the middle. Brings up a 2nd and 7. We'll actually only give him 2 there, so 2nd and 8. Ball between the hashes now. Hartson in the shotgun with trips to the right side, the near side of the field. Roosevelt going left to right here. Hartson drops back to pass, fires the wheel route out of the backfield. And that was thrown behind Bauman, and that'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Riders. Big moment now for Roosevelt. Seemed like they had all the momentum. And now all of a sudden, the momentum back on Erie's sideline. 3rd and 8. Hartson in the shotgun. This time 2 wideouts to each side. Tigers only with 1 safety deep right now. Pass over the middle, intercepted! And it was Kana again, and he read that play like a book. Hartson, it was a quick 3-step drop and a slant from the outside receiver, and Kana just beat him to the ball. Kana recognized that immediately, jumped in, and got the interception, and another turnover for Roosevelt, and the Tigers in business again at the 37-yard line. They'll have 1st and 10, and man, what a momentum shift that we've had in this game. 2 huge ones here in this half. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They just scored out of a trick play. You see the Tigers, they tried to take a deep shot on that 1st down after the last interception. It was Mendoza that took the sack. So 1st and 10, let's see if they do that again. Nope, they'll just hand off VV right side, sprints through the hole on a little cut back to the left, and he will get stacked up after a gain of 5 on the play. So a decent first down run there for Mason Vivi. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Tigers. They lead at 35-25, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. They're at the Roosevelt 33. And this might be the last play of the quarter as Erie content taking a little bit more time now. Mendoza in the shotgun this time. He'll hand it off to Vivi, breaks one tackle, gets through a hole, steps through another, bounces it to the outside, has the first down yardage or more across the 20 and gets dumped at the 17. A pickup there of 15-ish for Vivi. And another first down, and with 13 seconds left, I think Coach Cooper is saying, we're going to take it to the quarter. And it will be. So the Tigers will head to the fourth quarter, leading it 35-25. A great into the third quarter there for Erie. A couple of turnovers forced, and they're able to capitalize. We'll see if they're able to capitalize again. Fans, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also like this video, if you will, and follow us on social media as well, Erie Tiger Media. If you find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, we would appreciate that. And we will have playoff action tomorrow, softball, 10 a.m. from Aurora Sports Park. And what an exciting day it's been. Tell you what, there hasn't been a cloud in the sky all day, and you look overhead at night, see the stars pretty good because there are no clouds. But here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from the 17, and a chance to, I won't say put this game out of reach, but it's going to make it awfully tough on Roosevelt to come back if the Tigers could punch this one into the end zone. So ball spotted near the far hash. The Tigers will come out in a tight formation, a couple fullbacks, actually 2 wideouts to the left side. Now they'll run the little screen out the bubble to Schenbeck, and just a little stop route, and he got pretty open there on some soft coverage, ended up picking up about 3. Roosevelt playing pretty soft on Schenbeck over on that far sideline. 11:56 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 7 here for the Tigers. Mendoza in the pistol, Vivi behind him, a wide out to each side of the field. Van Lanningham in motion. They'll hand it off, or no, play action. Mendoza sprint out to the right, throws it to Vera, who catches it underneath, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds near the first down marker. Referee spotting him near the 10. And as we said, a little hard to see. It's down at the other side of the field as the Tiger fans getting excited here. So 3rd and short, 3rd and about 1, maybe 2 here for the Tigers. Ball will be spotted at the near hash. Arlington checks into the game. A wide out to each side and a official's timeout, as there might be an injured Tiger on the play. No, a Tiger that just had to tie his shoe. That was David Grossi that had to tie the old shoe. The officials stopping the clock, letting him fix some equipment. Now he's putting the gloves back on. Tigers running personnel in and out of the game. Checking in is Tab Sire now. So they'll go 2 tight ends this time with Tab and Josh. As Vera Little hobbled up, he comes to the bench. Mendoza's going to follow Vivi on the quarterback run, and he took a pop. I don't know. He needed a yard to get the first down, or short 2. I don't think he got it. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th and short. Tigers quickly to the line, though. They still have 2 tight ends with Arlington, the fullback. And it's a quick snap. That might have been direct to Arlington, and the Tigers push forward. And I had a tough time seeing who exactly ran that ball. No, I think it was just Mendoza under center. And in fact, fans are holding up their hands. They don't know what the heck happened, but a first down and good yardage, and now it's 1st and goal from the 5. Mendoza in the shotgun. He'll hand it off Vivi. Left side, cuts back to his right. Diving down near the goal line. He'll be stopped about a yard or 2 short. Now you can chew through some clock as well. 9:55 remaining in the game. 35-25. Tigers lead it. On a 2nd and goal play here from the 2. Now it's Mendoza, takes a snap, goes to his right, and he's into the end zone. Kind of negotiated through some traffic, and Mendoza gets in 41-25. The Tigers on top with 9:25 remaining. So the Tigers have completely taken control of this game. And with 9:25 left, they are sitting pretty. Dom out to kick the extra point. And that one is good. 42-25. 9:25 remaining. And by the way, Ian Vera over here on the sideline getting his ankle taped. And seems to be all right, just a little bit shaken up, and so he's getting his ankle wrapped here on the sideline. But the Tigers, I tell you what, you watch the first 4 minutes of this half, and you might have thought the Tigers could have been on the opposite side of this. And then suddenly the screen pass to Bradford turned everything around. In the blink of an eye, they lead it 42-25, and they will kick off here, going left to right here in this quarter. And Mendoza, or excuse me, Dominic Dadaveo will get ready to kick this one off. The fans for the Tigers on their feet, they're a little more excited here. Send this one low, driving, a bouncer taken by Bauman, and Bauman trying to get it out near the 30, and that's where the Tigers will corral him, and that is where Roosevelt will start their drive. Well, tough to come back through the air. It was Braden Saya that got injured on a triple option pitch. He took an absolute big hit right before he pitched it, and that was the last play we saw him, and we saw him on crutches at halftime for homecoming. So 1st and 10 for the Riders. Ball spot at the far hash. Trips to the near side. And a man in motion, a little bit of a late snap, a broken play, and the Tigers shooting to the backfield, and a big loss on a handoff to Bauman. A loss of about 5. Well, the ball was spotted, according to the scoreboard, at the 34. And that was just a busted play, maybe a mistimed snap. They had a motion man, and that muddled up the backfield. Now 2 wideouts to either side and a running back. As Hartson in the shotgun, and a timeout here coming from Coach Cooper as the Tigers didn't have the right personnel on the field. They were missing a defender. And so the Tigers take a timeout. And we will take a timeout. A quick mute break to rest the old voice.